Detroit Metro wasn't just breached, it was weaponized. Federal teams say they ripped open a cartel superhighway built inside an American airport, with $138 million frozen and 4.3 tons seized. Tonight, we break down Operation Wolverine Shield, 46 ghost flights, camera blackout windows, and a routing map into Canada. How did encrypted comms and corrupted badges turn cargo bays into a battlefield? Stay to see the audit trail, the breach points, and the tactical choices that shut it down. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great! Thank you so much. Now, back to the video.
DEA investigators say cartel members used money from drug sales to buy cell phones from Houston storefronts. Some of those stores have drug and money laundering operation with ties to the Jalisco New Generation cartel busted right here in Houston, that they were taking criminal proceeds. The phones were then sent to Mexico, sold there, and those proceeds went right back to the cartels.
You asked how 46 flights stayed out of sight inside a civilian field. The answer starts with discipline. Not parade ground polish, logistics discipline. Schedules locked to the minute. Lanes pre-cleared. People moved like parts on a rail. The audit ran 4 years. Line by line, shift by shift. It flagged manifests with vague cargo labels, night ramp activity that didn't line up with posted schedules, and weight math that went sideways only after midnight. The pattern hardened when tail numbers repeated on routes that made no commercial sense. But then a bigger tell. Redundant camera grids went dark in narrow slots just before inbound wheels touched. Not random outages, same windows, same angles, same bays. At the same time, badge hits spiked from users without flight line jobs. You saw tool vendors and temp custodial log into sterile doors they never needed. Ghost flights lived in the gray. Cargo described as components or returns. Tail numbers that resurfaced every 10 days with small route changes. Paths overlapped known cartel corridors like shadow lanes laid under the map, trading distance for deniability. Access was the lever. Dozens of restricted passes issued through soft approvals. When credentials meant nothing, sterile zones became hallways. A forklift could cross from an unloaded fuselage to a secured cage without a single challenge beep. The tech layer matched a field unit. Short burst messages. Keys that expired by the hour. Routing code split across teams so no one hand knew the entire line. Seized drives used encryption suites common to disciplined comms, not street chatter. Map the lanes and you saw a relay. Aircraft to private storage. Storage to trucking. Trucks handed off to shell firms in 4 cities, each acting like a clean relay baton. No single hop looked big. The chain did. North mattered. Detroit fed short hops to Toronto, Montreal, Ottawa. Color-coded tracks stitched a quiet arc across the border. Less street heat. More reach. The audit tied it together. Blackouts matched arrivals. Badges matched pallet pulls. Weights never matched paper. If you can see the convoy, you can time the ambush, so the breach plan had to hit every node at once. What does a raid look like when the target hides inside a live airport? It looks like a clock with teeth. Each team is a gear. Each minute bites.
We got down and dirty with them and created cell phone stores that they did not know it was us, law enforcement. We watched how they were doing it from our investigation, and we set up exactly what they wanted and what they felt. So, look, undercover is undercover. When we go under, you never know who we are, where we are, or how we're doing it. And
This strike ran as one body. FBI tactical units held entry and capture. DHS rolled armor for blocking lanes and hard stops at gates. Tech teams rode point on spectrum, cutting jammers and patching clean comms. Air assets loitered for chase, eyes on ramps, eyes on roads. But raids in aviation zones are a knife edge. You isolate lanes with cones, cruisers, and jersey barriers. You lock the airport's own cameras to prevent tip-offs, then stand up a shadow net so your operators still see. You protect runways with a sterile bubble while you move on armed nodes feet away from live flight ops. First breach was shock and grab. A shaped charge cracked a service door. Flash and bang pulled eyes off the hull. Stack pushed fast to server racks, desk drawers, cargo clipboards. Drives bagged. Radios secured. Route cards pocketed before the wipe scripts could run. Meanwhile, the Flint hangar fought back with drones and noise. Their small quadcopters watched lanes while a jammer tried to blind radios. Tech teams countered with spectrum monitors, found the dirty bands, and shifted traffic to a hardened channel. The drones lost the picture. Control returned. Grand Rapids turned kinetic. Ramp carts sprinted to vans, vans jumped to the highway. Helicopters took the roof. Patrol units built rolling blockades, exit by exit. Civilian cars flowed, but the convoy never cleared the net. One by one, boxed and stopped. Intel mattered more than shell cases. The Nexus list mapped who had access and when. Encrypted chats tied local nodes to command. CCTV timelines matched the engineered blind spots to pallet moves and badge surges. At the personnel node, the director acted like a logistics lead. He greenlit authorizations, issued badges, and set timing that gave the line its rhythm. Arrests stacked across the state, staff went dark, bulk loads hit the floor, accounts froze. A corridor lost its fuel and its cash. Which brings us to what end state looks like when you treat an airport as a supply line instead of a crime scene. Win timing. Control access. Own the routes. That's how you starve a network with minimal shots and maximum effect. You saw it play out. Audit trails as targeting data, force integration as the hammer, synchronized breaches as the cut. Treat the corridor like a supply line and it withers fast. If you want more breakdowns on how agencies dismantle supply lines with audit trails and integrated teams, subscribe and comment your pick for the first failure point to fix, timing windows, badge control, or routing discipline. Comment your choice below. Next, we assess other gateways, layered sensor nets, real badge audits, and tight comms discipline that turn a warm corridor cold.